I have a question. What would you do? What could you do if you witness a situation like this? My son and I just witnessed a disgusting situation right in front of our eyes. We were out and about, and yet a police siren came on, and a vehicle was being told over the loudspeaker to pull over into the parking lot that was adjacent to where we were. When the officer pulled the gentleman over, a conversation ensued, and then the officer went back to his squad car and then proceeded to make arrangements for not only a citation, but also for the vehicle to be impounded. As the older elderly gentleman that was also disabled, clearly disabled, get out of the vehicle and trying to talk to the officer, out of frustration and nervousness, he not only was urinating on himself all over his pants, but also even regarding his tears in his eyes as he was seeking to plead his situation and how he needed assistance, but he was trying to get help where he could. However, the officer had an obligation. So the question is, what would you do if you were the officer? What could you do if you were the officer? Well, I had to ask that question of myself, either though I am neither one. What should I do in regards to this elderly man that's disabled? Because I was told that I couldn't do anything at all. And yet this man had to not only get out of his vehicle, but could barely walk. And someone that I guess the officer was okay with helped the man walk out of the parking lot, across the street, a very busy street, to possible safety for a minute, because there was not the destination that the gentleman was seeking to go to. But now decisions had to be made. How would this elderly disabled man get to where he needed to be safely? And how would he be provided for? And now that he had not only a citation, but also his vehicle being impounded, him pleading his case in regards to his inability to pay for any of those things meant absolutely nothing. Seeing this situation reminds me of how much or how little things have changed over the years, and how things are continually to spiral downward in regards to empathy and fellow feeling. And I try to think about it constructively from both the officer's standpoint as well as the elderly disabled gentleman's standpoint. And it was hard to see the officer's standpoint because, one, yes, he did have an obligation to uphold the law. Two, he does have to follow through when he's calling into dispatch regarding the gentleman's license plate and his license number and things of that nature, his insurance. However, seeing that older gentleman's vehicle being towed away and him having nowhere and no way to get to where he needed to be, and yet being told that I couldn't do anything to assist him, I looked to my son and said, what would you do? And what could you do? And all he could do is shake his head. So I'm asking you, what would you do in a scenario like that, a situation like that? Brings tears to your eyes, doesn't it? But comment, let me know, what would you do?